you, and then you'll.
We are live. Hello, everyone. Sorry for that, Jennifer. Thank you all for joining us for the second session of day two of the XR Innovation Week. Thank you also for joining us for the first session where we had Daniel. So these two sessions are kind of interlinked. So we're talking about XR for African tourism and cultural experiences. Right now we have Joyce. Joyce she's a wonderful person, a good friend of mine, and she also be sharing her experience with using XR to create cultural experiences. And I'll allow Jennifer to give an overview of who Joyce is and also her profile.
Thanks, Arome. I am thrilled to introduce Joyce Sarpong. Joyce is an accomplished woman with a portfolio of roles, which I think is fantastic. She's the founder and CEO of Africa Oracle, a business consultancy that uses immersive technologies to curate meaningful and experiential learning to promote African tourism. Africa Oracle provides internships, and this enables Joyce to share her lived experience and mentor interns by helping them navigate their work life, thereby enabling them to transition from education to employment. She's a visiting lecturer with the business school at the University of Westminster, where she lectures on entrepreneurship and marketing. She mentors students by helping them with their personal development plans, attend networking events, and help them transition to master's degrees and employment, and provides references as well. Joyce is a professional with board level experience of advising and supporting CEOs, head teachers, senior management, and board members. Joyce is currently a governor at King's College School in Wimbledon, UK, and also sits on the board of African Revival, a UK charity with the mission of improving the education of youngsters in South Sudan, Uganda, and Zambia, as a trustee. She has a background in IT and consultancy in the field of project management with over 20 years across a wide range of industries and projects in the corporate sector. She's worked with Visa EU as a team leader, managing e-commerce and payment technology projects for public and private sector clients, and Whitbread, a FTSE 100 company, in their central IT division for Whitbread businesses as an IT consultant, business analyst, and project manager. On top of all that, if that wasn't enough, Joyce has a degree in computer sciences from South Bank University in London and an MBA from the Open University. Joyce is a fellow of the Royal Society of Arts and is passionate about the kind of society that they're trying to create, a future that works for everyone, where we can all participate in its creation. She was selected as an Africa Diaspora Changemaker by the RSA and Comic Relief for her leadership in the community. Wow, I'm in awe just reading that, Joyce, and I can't wait to see what you have to share with us. Your breadth of experience is amazing. I'll hand it over to you for the presentation. Thanks, Joyce.
Thank you very much. I'm just waiting to see the screen. Okay, so thank you, everyone, and I'm delighted to be here at the XR Innovation Week, and I'm currently in London. It's a pleasure to be with you. Thanks once again for the introduction. I was just sitting there listening and not quite believing it myself, but there you go. So where do I start? I'd like to start talking about the story of how Africa Oracle came to be. So the story is that at the age of 40, which was about over a decade ago, I went with my young family to Ghana. So I'm a person of Ghanaian heritage. So we went from London to Ghana. And at the time, this was around 2007, Ghana was booming. It had just discovered oil. There was a huge buzz. And things were very rosy. Came back to the UK, really to find, to my dismay, that the same narrative about the continent was still, still prevailed. And this really frustrated me. And I started thinking, well, why would that be the case? What are the challenges, and why is the image of Africa the way it is? And it's largely down to the international media. So with the international media, we have obviously broadcast radio, TV, your papers, film, all of them, tend to have this narrative. And with the media, they say bad news, if it bleeds, it sells. So negative news sells, which doesn't really help the case when it comes to Africa and portraying the wonderful and amazing, place and continent that it is. So I was very frustrated, and then this led me to start to think about what I can do to change that narrative, and that's how Africa Oracle was born. The frustration also is currently what we see that's happening in the tourism sector, and I'll come to that later. But Africa Oracle was created in 2014, and as you've heard, we've had a number of different accolades. I started off thinking about curating stories about Africa, and ones that gave a holistic view. And on that journey, I was selected to be one of the top African diaspora leaders by the RSA, as was mentioned earlier, and Comic Relief. We led a team that won some digital marketing awards with Google. And in the UK, we were awarded an innovation voucher as well with the work that we were doing. The current situation, when we think about tourism, so on our quest from transitioning from curating stories to where we are now, I was thinking about the kind of socio-economic impact we could make on the continent, and also leveraging my experience, breadth of experience in IT. And we came across the tourism sector. And the reason why we have decided to work within this sector is the fact that the tourism sector prior to COVID employs about 1 in 10 employees globally. So it is one of the largest GDP earners for most countries. And with Africa in 2040-25 becoming one of the largest places and continents in the world for workforce, for the youth, obviously job creation is very important. And that's why we are working in this area. And when we think about the current situation, so pre-COVID, you have this, what we call the sharing economy. So you have your Airbnbs and you have your Ubers and you have your Spotify music. And that's all about sharing industry. And that has caused disruption in various sectors. And when we look at that disruption, there's a lot of interaction with customers. That is creating a lot of opportunities and also risk. And when we think about the risks and challenges of the tourism and sector in this COVID pandemic era, we know that borders have been closed, and we know that there's no travel. And so there's a lot of perceived risks with the safety all around the COVID situation, but there are also opportunities. So if you could imagine that you were in a cafe and you were dreaming about your next holiday like we're all doing, and you get a notification on your mobile phone, and this allows you to bring up a selection of search options in terms of places that you could travel to. And then you have a QR code on your mobile phone, and that QR code is able to take you into an immersive experience. That's what we'd like to do in terms of promoting African destinations. So we want people to try and have a sample of African destinations before they book their next trip. And so our solution is we're coming from a place where we've been curating stories, and we want to make this more digital and immersive using immersive technologies and enabling people to have a feel and a sense of what it's like to travel to these wonderful destinations on the continent, so that when they're able to do it in person, they would have that experience, which most of us look for when we're thinking about our next destinations. We go by testimonies from other people, but in the absence of that, we can use immersive technology to give us that taster before we actually are able to experience these destinations in person. And so I'd just like to share, this is like a concept demo of a virtual experience that we did with the Chale Wote Festival in Ghana. And this is an art and dance kind of cultural festival that happens every year in Ghana. And I'll just share the concept video that we've made on this. I hope it works.
It's not coming up. Everybody skip it. Maybe network also.
Is it?
No, it's not coming up.
Oh, okay, 1 second. Okay, I'm just going to try and share. I'll stop sharing the presentation and try and share the screen of the.
Okay, great. Let me know when you're ready to share.
Okay.
Could you share the link with us so we can also share with
Yes.
everyone that? Yeah.
Sorry, let me just do that. That'd be easier. Let's see. Okay.
Great, seen it.
Okay.
Requesting for access.
Okay. Let me try and.
You can continue. Okay.
Yeah. It's Clinton.
Great.
Okay. Okay.
Hi,
Thank
Joyce.
you. Hi.
Great. So that was impressive, I must say, because I know both of us have had like a lot of discussion on how we want to create XR experiences regarding cultural and heritage sites on the continent, right? So it's an amazing stuff what you're doing, and I'm really really looking forward to engaging with you in the
Thank you.
future, and also work
Yeah.
on projects that would help change the perspective of what Africa is, and also preserve some of our monuments and heritage sites for the future. So thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
Jennifer,
Thank you.
any final thoughts?
Joyce, thank you so much for sharing your vision with us all. I think we're all 100% behind you with regards
Thank you.
to the goal that you've set. The bar is quite high, and I think you'll probably hear from a lot of our audience members with regards to ways that they can connect with you
That would be
to help
great.
you in your quest. So is there a great way that they can reach out to you to volunteer their services if
Of
they
course,
so want
let me just share my get my presentation back up, if you bear with me. Apologies for the delay and stuff. It's my first time of being live on StreamYard, so
no worries.
right. Let me just okay, so hold on. Okay, let me share my application window. Share. Okay, can you see that? Is it sharing?
Yes, it is. We see it. Okay,
Great.
so for those of you out there that have heard Joyce's presentation and share in her passion and vision for sharing with the world how amazing Africa is, here's her contact information. I'm sure she would love to hear from you and hear from the amazing talents that you guys may be able to contribute to her efforts. Thank you so much, Joyce. I wish we had more time. There's so many questions I could ask you.
Can I just say one thing?
Sure, go ahead.
So I'm not sure who's in the audience. I mean, I know that, it's people that are in this space of XR, but even if there's some tourism and hospitality businesses, so whether they be hotel venues or site destinations or tourist attractions, if you want to work with Africa Oracle, we can co-create with you to understand what the challenges are, which are immense at this time. And then we can do a free report based on what you're tailored to you so that we can explore ways in which we can work together. So that's something for the businesses, but then also, I'd like to collaborate, co-create with developers or anybody in that space so that we can let the world see what an amazing continent, what Africa has to offer. Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure.
So this is a wrap.
Yeah.
We have to go and jump on our next session.
Of course.
Yeah. So
thank you very much.
Very soon. Thank you so much, Joyce, for coming. Do have a great day.
You're welcome. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Joyce.
Bye. Bye-bye.